I always tell people, you don't want to just change the speakers, because that's like, a lot of times just changing the speakers is like putting brand new tires on your car and expecting it to go faster. All right, hey guys, Jay from Showtime Audio. So we have this 2021 Subaru Forester in for a stereo upgrade. I'm actually super excited about this one. So this is such a cool thing. So the husband bought it for his wife. So the husband has a stereo, an upgraded stereo, and his car has a premium audio system. His wife, who happens to be a teacher, they're both teachers, which is also cool, got this car, and it has a bass audio system. So the husband, being a good husband, put speakers in it for her. So he bought her all new speakers and put them in. And it helps, but it's not great. It might handle a little better, but it's not gonna perform any better per se, right? So to perform better, you need power, right? We need some power, we need some control, we need more than just speakers. So the husband came through, right? So this was her Christmas gift. And so it's a subwoofer, a 4-channel amplifier, and a mono block. So part of the reason I'm super excited about it is because they're super excited about it. She loves music and they're just both so excited, and that makes me excited, right? Because I love music. Very fortunate that we get to do a lot of really crazy builds. Crazy big budget, over the top, really high-end cars, all that kind of stuff, right? But this is really cool because it's not an insane budget build. It's not super expensive gear, but it still delivers. So this is a really nice setup if you want a much better audio system, but you don't want to break the bank. Subarus are extremely difficult. There's a lot of hurdles to get over. You think, oh wow, well, it's just a Subaru, right? It's a Subaru, it's got a basic radio, there's no amp, there's no nothing. How hard can it be? Very hard. So this car has a telematics module that we have to deal with. Basically, that's like OnStar, or it's Subaru's version of like OnStar. It also has, it needs load resistors. So basically, if you modify the harness and add an amplifier and don't put in load resistors, the radio stops playing. So obviously that's not good. It's got a ton of DSP. So they do a lot of DSP because they need to make the not so great speakers sound better. So it has things like all pass filters, it has delay, all this stuff that we have to contend with. Well, all of those things that we have to contend with means more devices, more labor, more, more, right? So the nice thing about using the Kicker products in this case is that the amplifier has a built-in DSP, as well as the bass amplifier has a built-in DSP, and it's all in a single package, and it does it for you. Now, we can't go in there, we can't tune it, we can't hook it up to a laptop, we can't do any of that. Basically, we plug it in, set it, run through its programming, and go that way. Yeah, so the nice thing is, again, we can't hook up a laptop, we can't tweak it, we can't tune it. We have to run through its process, and we'll show you that in a minute. We'll show you what it does, where the signal goes in kind of messed up and all kinds of crazy, and then the Kicker amp actually DSPs it and gives us a clean signal. It also, one of the other things you have to contend with is it rolls off the bass. So in other words, the louder you turn it up, the more the bass kind of goes down to protect the not so great speakers. The Kicker, the 500 amp, fixes that, and we'll show you that in the video as well. But again, seems like a very simple car, but there's a lot to contend with. And if you just go to some average place, or you just put in your own gear, you're probably not gonna know about these things, and you're gonna be wondering, man, it sounds weird, like what's wrong, right? And if there's something off, and you'll be right, but you won't know what that is, right? Because if you don't have the tools to check it, if you don't know it's there, or if you don't have the equipment to compensate for it, you're never gonna get a great sound. So again, a lot of times people, do these cars because they're simple, right? It's like, oh, I could do it myself. How hard can it be? It can be a little hard, I will tell you. But the client, Isaac, he knew well enough. He's like, speakers, not so bad. I can swap out some speakers, but he's like, when we get to this part, I'm gonna let you guys handle that. So we didn't want to take up a ton of trunk space. So we ended up going with this kicker. It's a 12-inch passive. So it's a 12-inch woofer with a passive radiator. So in essence, it's kind of like a ported enclosure, but more controlled. And the nice thing is, obviously it's low profile. It has a quick disconnect on the bottom of it, so if they need the extra space. But I mean, it doesn't take up much space at all, right? So it's a really good solution. You don't, other than the enclosure, you don't see anything. Everything is completely hidden. We built a custom amp board that goes under the passenger seat. All right, so a lot of times we get grief for kicker, right? Why kicker? Why this? Why that, right? Or any brand, right? But we use what's appropriate for the situation and for the client. Yes, the gear is important, but the installation is much more important. And knowing what you're working against and using the proper equipment to work with the car, the client. I mean, there's a lot of variables, but it works. The little amplifier with the built-in DSP, we'll show you. In the video, we can literally show you the signal that's coming in and how it fixes it, cleans it up. Images, I mean, it's nuts. For an amp that's this big and it's like 300 bucks. I mean, that's impossible any other way. The bass amplifier, it's a 500 watt monoblock. Also, we'll show you the signal coming in. We'll show you the signal going out. It works. It just works. Is it a sound quality show winner? No, right? But when you're going from bass audio system to an aftermarket system, it is huge. The difference is ridiculous. Like if you hear this thing, it sounds phenomenal compared to like what he had. Now, what's gonna happen is the husband has a factory premium audio system. After he hears this, he's gonna wanna upgrade his car because now this will be louder than his car. So it's pretty cool, right? So the other cool thing is they're super excited about this. That, again, that makes me excited, right? Because it kind of reminds me of when I started and why I started. I started because I loved music and basically couldn't afford to pay anybody to do it, so I had to learn to do it myself. But it's super nice when you meet people who are genuinely excited about what you do and they love music. So to me, that's amazing, and it allows me to do what I love to do. All right. So for the bass knob, we ended up modifying this panel. So this is a push to start. If it was key start, the key would live here. So what we ended up doing is we popped this panel out, and now the knob actually would have hit the column. So we ended up having to modify the knob, cut it, and extend it so that it still can be removed if we absolutely have to. But this way, aesthetically, it looks great, and you can just reach it right here on the fly, as opposed to having it just stuck to the dash or on the side of the console. It just makes it look more as if it came with the vehicle. And just wanted to show you. So this is the Kicker Key 501, and then this is the Kicker Key 204, and then we have our LOC. So we need all this equipment, but wanted to show you. So it's kind of hard to see, but the bass rolls off here at the end, right? So what that's for is to protect the not so great speakers. So what the Kicker Key does, this is the output. So this is input, this is output. And as you can see, it's boosted the output, right? So it's DSP'd the output to fix the roll off. So now we have a little bit of a bump here at around the 40 Hertz mark, which is what we like, that's bass. And so that helps compensate for the radio's DSP, which helps us get much, much better bass. Without this, you would be losing all this energy. This downward curve here, that's bass. And if you look at it, it's right around the same mark where this peaks. So you would lose all that information. This is what's coming into the amp. So it's full range all the way across, right? But it's got a bunch of little peaks and valleys, and which is all the DSP that the factory radio does. Hit the button, Rob. Now you can see what the DSP, what the amp did. So it EQ'd everything, and it gave us what's called a smiley face, right? So in car audio, It's like they call it a smiley face because basically it boosts the highs, it's kind of flat in the middle, and then it boosts the bass. The reason there's nothing down here is because the amplifier has crossovers. So we have the crossovers set, and that's why you see none of that information. If we turn the crossovers off on the amplifier, that would go flat like this. Hit the button one more time, Rob. So as you can see, these are in essence the same, except this one's more this is higher voltage because it's amplified, right? Turn it on again, Rob. But just wanted to show you. Plus, not to mention the time alignment and all that it does as well. We also have a link below to an inquiry form. So if you're interested in anything you see, you have a question, you want us to do some work for you, you see a part that you want us to build for you, hit the link and fill out the inquiry, and we'll make sure to get back to you. Thanks a lot for watching.
Visit our website at showtimeaudiochicago.com.